Hey everybody! Thought I'd jump on and talk about what everybody's feeling right now since October 7th and the horrific situation in the Middle East. For sensitive people like myself, it's been a tremendous roller coaster. A lot of emotions on either side, exploding all over the globe now. I choose to not choose sides. I think the whole thing is horrendous. And I think it's okay to have that opinion about this entire situation and not say one's right and the other one's wrong, because this has been going on for thousands of years and they just go back and forth. And what kind of makes me a little bit crazy is, the Holocaust was a horrible situation, millions of people dying because they're just this certain type of person. And this situation, of course, is a little different because you have Israel, such a dominant state. They have an agenda to take that land, and the Palestinians have been living under this oppression for years and getting angrier and angrier. It's like a pressure pot. And then, of course, they're going to let Hamas and Hezbollah come in to help them out to get out of it. But why did they think that starting a fight with this big state that wants your land is a good idea? And so then you start saying, well, was it a conspiracy? Because I tend to be more conspiracy minded. Like, we would have never gone into Iraq if 9/11 hadn't been so horrific. So maybe Israel needed that attack so they would have the excuse to go in and clear out Gaza. That's my opinion on it. I think it's horrific all the way around. It makes me sick to my stomach. And everybody feels so helpless. What do we do? How do we change the world? How do we stop killing each other? I mean, let's rise above. We're going into the five-dimensional earth reality where we are to rise above these very brutal lower dimensional things like killing each other. And so the only thing we can do as light workers on this quest for higher mind is to start with yourself, like I've always said in all my videos, and love your own heart, and then to expand that out in your meditation and just love the world. Send that love out to all the hurting people. And when I had this really interesting experience a couple weeks ago with a friend of mine, went to church, and she was like, they're demons, they need to be eradicated. And I'm like, that's exactly what they said about the Jews. So how is that okay to demonize an entire group of people and want them eliminated? I thought we were past this. I thought we were rising above these very small-minded ideas about each other. You know what I mean? When you demonize an entire group of people, you take their humanity away, and that's when really bad things happen, like atrocities, like it's happening right now. And so I remember there was a time under Obama when the Muslims were coming into the country and we had the terrorist problems and all that. And I felt the same way she did. And I would verbalize that, but I've grown spiritually so much in those years that now I feel like when hurt people, it's time to look at where the hurt comes from and understand it instead of judge it. Because remember, we're not supposed to judge each other. It's real sticky though, but my solution is to send love to your enemies, send love to the people that are hurting. Because it's a quantum universe, we're all connected, everything is connected. So when you love your own heart, and in your meditation, love the earth, love the hurting people, you change the world just by being love. And you're also an example. I want to be an example. How can I serve humanity? The way to serve humanity, start at home. Love yourself, and then love your enemies. Really hard to do, right? the ego gets in the way. We are human, right? We're down here. This is our earth plane, our schoolroom, our life lesson. All the characters that come in our life are teaching us something. And usually the ones that hurt us the most are our best teachers. I know you've heard this before from me, but what I'm saying is, if we can learn how to live with each other, learn why people are upset, change the behavior so that no longer are we oppressing each other, give people the space to manage themselves. But really what it's all about is real estate and greed. That's what it's about. I want beachfront property. I want to build a resort. Look what they did in Maui. They burned all those people out. And they trapped them. And now they're dead. And so it's a free-for-all to grab that land. I'm sure they're going to build some gorgeous little resort over there on top of people's ashes. It's disgusting. But this is happening in our lifetime. And we're trying to rise up above these lower vibrational impulses. We've got to grow as a people. And you can't do that when you're killing each other. But look at our movies. Look at our TV shows. Look at the news. What does it promote? Hatred. Yes. And this is what our children are watching. The new generation has to be taught not to judge and condemn. We've got to rise above the eye for an eye mentality, because it makes the whole world blind, and that's where we're at. And so I don't choose sides in this. I think the whole thing is terrible. I want to help every sick, injured, hurt person. And so we have the power. I want everybody that's listening to this, take a moment out of their day and go inward and find that love in your heart and envision the world at peace, and how good that would feel for all of us to love each other and have each other's back, so that we can move into the earth that we're creating, which is going to be free energy, less stress, take care of each other, create a community, reach out to people hurting. We all need to be of service to each other. Can you imagine what the world would look like if we all had that mentality of, I want to be of service to my fellow man? You know, pay it forward, do something nice for somebody, say something nice to somebody. If every single one of you that heard these words from me today, went out of their way to pay for the guy behind you in lines food, or compliment somebody, or see an older person struggling with their groceries and help them. If we all did a small act of kindness, and so many of these small acts will add up. And in our meditation, we just believe that the earth, and it is going to be there, believe me, it's going their way. Love is always going to win. And remember that. Do not get depressed, because it's so easy to go dark. But if you keep that hope and love in your heart and speak this to your friends. This is what I tried to do with my friend that wanted to exterminate all the Palestinians because she sees them as demons. And I spoke love to her, and I said, you're a Christian, right? I said, well, then you need to pray for them. And she said, pray for them? I will never pray for them. Well, see, there's where the mentality's got to change. If your beliefs have you believing that a group of human beings with a heart and blood in their veins is a demon, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to start listening to some teachers and sages, and this is what I do all the time. I mean, I've told you about Matt Kahn, told you about the Gaia channel. I told you, I just read the Gnostic Gospels, which is fascinating. I really want to do a whole video on that, where they're talking about how what Jesus, some of the secret teachings of Jesus that were never really talked about in the Bible, about how he really was trying to direct people to go inward and not to be worshipped. He didn't want to be worshipped. They have it all wrong. They rewrote the whole Christian religion around this control idea that you've got to go to a church, a priest has to have the word, you can't be of knowledge, Eve ate the apple. They want to keep us stupid so they can just tell us what to believe. Well, when you're a seeker like myself, you want to read the Gnostics because they were seekers and they ask questions, where church doesn't really like you asking questions. So the more you seek, the more you find that it really comes down to all that I'm talking about, simple stuff, loving your own heart, and how we're quantumly attached to everything in the universe. And that is how we change things. This quantum understanding. Alexa, stop. Yeah. So when we understand how connected we are, and that's how psychic energy is passed, that's how we can affect this war, by how everything is connected. Each one of us has the power. We're way more powerful. This is another problem I have with religion. The religion always wants to make you sound like a sinner, somebody who's low, someone who doesn't understand. You lowly sinners, you must always be on your knees and asking for forgiveness. And I'm sorry, but we are truly powerful in our own sovereign humanity selves, setting healthy boundaries and using the power of discernment to decide what truth is. But if it feels oppressive or it feels controlling, it's not truth. You understand? We are supposed to be liberated. We are supposed to have the ability to ask questions and to find our own path. You see how beautiful that is? Doesn't that feel good in your body when you say, I'm finding my truth. I want to serve humanity. This is what I'm all about. This is why I'm doing the videos, because I am literally every day studying books of higher knowledge, and the word has got to get out that we are powerful, that we're able to affect our lives. We're able to affect the entire universe. Our little consciousness becoming aware of itself, wanting to serve others and expand the love revolution is going to change everything. All we need is this very small amount of people. I know I've told you this before, but if you're one of those light workers that is here to anchor in the love, it doesn't mean you're not going to have a bad day. I'm going to tell you this right now. I have bad days. I have days where I don't know why, but I am just full of anxiety. I'm full of anger. I'm full of frustration. I feel really overwhelmed. And I just assume that it's coming from the collective, because I am sensitive. Possibly some planetary movements, because we're all affected by that. The phase of the moon. I mean, we're water creatures, so the moon's going to pull us, push us, and pull us. That's what Schoolroom Earth is all about. How do you get through this life and try to be the kindest you can possibly be, the most supportive, the most loving, even to people that hate us or don't want to be around us and have cut us out of their lives and have broken our hearts? What do you do with that? When you get trespassed on, what do you do? The whole world, from movies to television to news, will tell you, screw that person, curse them. That's what we've always done in the past, isn't it? Eye for an eye. But we've got to stop that, people. We've got to realize how powerful we are, and we've got to send love to our enemies. Why did they hurt you? Because they don't have love. If they loved themselves completely, if they had love in their hearts, there's no way that they would have hurt you. Because loving people love people. And so you've got to see them for what they are, hurt. Anybody that hurts you is hurting inside of themselves. And remember, it's not about you. When people treat you a certain way, they're usually projecting how they feel about themselves. So it has nothing to do with you. I like to remind you guys of that because I need to be reminded of that too. I'm human. And when somebody's mean to me, I'm like, what? What did I do? It's a natural reaction. You just assume I must have brought anger out in that person. Well, if you're a loving person and you're coming at them with kindness and they want to spit on you anyway, what does that say? That wasn't you that brought that on. You see? They are spitting on you, being mean to you. Maybe your kindness and your love is triggering them. That happens all the time. People that are in pain really can't stand it when they're around people that are happy. Have you ever noticed that? Crazy, isn't it? Like, oh, I want you to be happy too. Well, they don't. Obviously, they've made a choice, right? Have you ever heard the saying about the two wolves inside of you? The old Indian proverb that said, which wolf do you feed? The loving wolf or the angry, hostile, I want to eat you wolf? Which wolf do you feed? So if you get mad when somebody is mean to you, and you lash out at them, which is exactly what's going on in the Middle East, you are just as bad as the person that hurt you. You can't, two wrongs don't make a right. You can't eliminate an entire 2.3 million people and say that you're justified, especially when you've had a Holocaust that killed so many millions of your own people. You know what that feels like, to be exterminated. You know this. It hurts. And yet you are continuing to do it to another population. Do you see how wrong that is? And yet they're religious. So you would think religious people equals love, right? Because aren't we taught religion is supposed to be based in love? And yet here we are. Because it feeds the military-industrial complex. There's money, people. Follow the money. It's always about the money. And the real estate. You know, and it's just so disgusting. You can't take it with you. You know what you take with you? Your soul. And you know what your soul needs? Your soul needs to pass the test of the Earth Room school that we're in. And how you pass the test, the game is, how will you respond? That's the game. I've talked to you about it before. Somebody craps on you. You have a decision to make. You can either lash back out and hurt them just as much and maybe more than they hurt you, which feels really good. Being a human, you want to, I've been there. I know how that feels. You want to hurt them back. It's your human nature. But we are divine. We must rise above our human nature. That's what the Bible and the religions have all said. Turn the other cheek. Forgive. Let it go. Understand they're hurting and that's why they lashed out. Understand your role in why they're hurting and they lashed out. The only way to fix it is to humble yourself and fix it. And that's not happening. But I'm going to tell you something. The days of war and the grabbing of land and the murdering of civilians, innocents, to take land, like what's happening in Ukraine and Gaza right now, it's coming to an end. This is a very old third-dimensional earth paradigm that does not work, and we all know it. We all feel it in our gut. this is just wrong. And the more we take responsibility for the way that the earth is and the energy that's going on right now and try to change it personally, like I've said, it's going to change things. You have to have faith that we are strong enough as a collective. The more people that do this, the more people that really are pushing for love and peace, it's going to make a difference. I promise you. Do not give up hope. Don't do it, because we are so much more powerful than we know. And that is a really important message that I needed to come on here and talk about today, because I know we're all hurting. I know we all feel it. And you just can't join in. You can't pick sides. You can't join the madness. The earth needs us right now to be the most loving that we can be. Help any way we can. But what we can do is just meditate on the love. And I promise you it's going to be an amazing future. Now, I've heard through the grapevine that 2024 is going to be a really difficult year. I hate to say that, people, because I've been through hell in 23. It was a tough year, man. But I personally feel like my 24 is going to be amazing, because that's what I want to create. Even though I've been told, buckle up, Buttercup, next year's going to be really rough. But the thing about it is, if you are in your right mind, you are centered in yourself, and you are doing a lot of self-care, which is what I do. I rest when I'm overwhelmed. I create when I'm, I need to. I'm reaching out to people when I need to. I'm going with the flow. And literally when things come to me, I just deal with it in the most kind, loving manner that I can. Even people that annoy me. It's great. So you keep putting that good stuff out there, right? You're going to create an amazing life. And when you fall and you lash out, stop, breathe, regroup, understand you were triggered, forgive yourself, apologize for your outburst, and get better. It's not an easy thing. This did not come for me overnight, okay? This has been, oh Lord, how long have I been on this journey? Pretty much my whole life, but I would have to say my buttons have really gotten pushed in the last 3 years. And I've had to do a serious about face and change some of my ideals about my role in the world and my place in the world and how people respond to me in the world, and understand that I'm on the right track. And that's why I do these videos and try to remind you of it, because the world's not going to remind you that you're powerful. The world's not going to remind you to send love when you're being trampled all over. The world is going to say, oh, give it back to them. That's what the world says. That's why people need to pull out of the world and have their quiet meditation moment and realize that that is not truth. And you know it because you feel it in your gut. You've got to follow your intuition. That's really important, to know your way, to find your true path, to keep going on a positive love trajectory. Because that's what's going to change everything. It starts with you. It always has. That's what even the religions say. The problem is, it's just like if I'm on here preaching to you about what to do, and then I don't do it in my own life. And we're so used to that, aren't we? The hypocrisy. Do as I say, not as I do. Our parents did it to us. The government does it to us. They lie to us constantly and then go do whatever the hell they want. It's all about the money. You know what I mean? So pulling yourself up out of this crazy world and breathe and have a meditative practice, even a few minutes a day, just to center yourself and pull away from the madness. Allow it to go. And look at it like it's a false representation of, we don't want to go there. We're not going to focus on that. You pull your focus out of the crazy, you bring it back inward, and you say, Katie Hayes, I love you. You're doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of you. And you bring that white light through your body, and you envision it going into all your cells and healing and allowing all the darkness to just flow out of your feet. And if you can walk on the earth barefoot, this is called grounding, earthing and grounding. You just imagine it all going into the mother. Our Mother Earth will take all the negative energy out of us. And we do this on a regular basis so we can stay clear. Keep that circulation. You understand the circulation? White light comes through the roof, the crown chakra, down through all your other chakras, and clears out all the negativity. You just envision it going right out your feet. The darkness goes right out of you. And then you live it. You practice it. Coming back to people that are mean to you with love. You see they're hurting. That's why they're treating you bad. You say, I'm so sorry you're hurting. I love you. I think you're amazing. And you compliment them. You bring them up out of their anger. You know, loving an angry person is really hard to do. And you have to have a very centered self to do it. And if you practice it every day, complimenting yourself, do not judge yourself, do not be hard on yourself, do not allow the regrets and the pity story. We all have traumatic stories, all of us. Listen, you can't get out of schoolroom earth without trauma. You just can't. That's what we're here to transmute. Do you get it? You go through a hard time, it's teaching you what you need to change inside of yourself so that you can be in harmony with the energy instead of fight it. And I'm still working on me, people. I am not perfect. I tend to fixate when people trespass. I go round and round and round and round. I stop myself and go, what are you doing? Nope. Let it go. These are people that are unconscious. They don't know any better. This isn't about you. But my responsibility for myself is to not do the whole like blame game. Just can't do it. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Really good guy. I just downloaded his book. I'm about to go read it today. I'm really excited. I just go from book to book to book. I just want to absorb as much information about how to be the very best soul that I can be so I can bring you the information. There's so much more I want to talk to you about. I need to get on here more because, I mean, my mind is blown by the information that I'm finding. I haven't even really begun to talk to you about all this stuff that I'm learning. But stay searching. Stay innocent in your quest for knowledge. Allow it to run through your intuition filter. Some of it'll fall off, other things will stick. It's all about how it makes you feel. And trust your energy to understand that truth is going to feel really good in your body. And then things that are not so truthful, that are kind of sketchy, that might say one thing but do another, really pay attention to that, you know? That goes for people too, you know? Like, I'm going to tell you straight up that I'm not perfect. But I do want to share with you my journey because it's kind of unique, right? Being a quad amputee in this very busy, crazy world we live in. And I have a lot of things that I've overcome, and my journey is of service. And I think that if everybody took that way of looking at this Earth School, of all the characters that come into your life, they're going to teach you something, and then you're going to rise above, and you're going to get the lesson, and you're going to move through it with less effort. That's what I'm trying to create. The meditation on ease. I want my life to be easier. I don't want things breaking all the time. I want to really soak in the love from our spirit guides that are always around us, the archangels that are always wanting to help us. All you have to do is ask, reach out in your meditation, ask for help. They're right there waiting. Everybody is has a group of spirit guides and angels that are around them. No one is alone, and we're all connected, so don't ever feel alone. And I'm here for you. I would love to be able to do a live broadcast so I could see people's comments, as I never know, how I'm being taken with you guys. But I know I'm on the right path for me, and I really hope that I'm helping you on your journey, because that's my goal. And I love you all. Mwah. And check out my website, katiepaints.com. Get my book. But I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and spread the word. So have an awesome day. Love you tons.